now 7 o'clock on the dot. Up next, we'll bring you the DBS Major Morning News.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
Good morning. In the headlines, plans underway to convert the Brenda Stafford Eye Clinic at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital into a center of excellence for eye care in the region. Antigua and Barbuda invites Commonwealth OAS and CARICOM observers ahead of general election announcement. Nigerian Army rescues 31 held after Easter church attack. And in sports, national athlete Addison James has won Dominica's first medal at the ongoing Carifta Games in Grenada as he snatched gold in the boys' under-20 javelin event last night. The details in a moment.
Need one trusted place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Fine Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica. And yes, we deliver fast. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top-tier service, trusted products. Call us at 255-6810 or 316-0164 or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc. The biggest distributor for the biggest brand.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
DBS News.
We thank you for joining us this morning. First off in the news, plans are underway to convert the Brenda Stafford Eye Clinic at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital into a center of excellence for eye care in the region. The announcements came from Health Minister Kasani Laville at the weekend.
We are also doing the preparatory work for the Brenda Stafford Eye Clinic at Dominica China Friendship Hospital to convert this into a center of excellence for eye care in the region. And, we have state-of-the-art equipment there, and we do many modern procedures there, and we are hoping that with the collaboration of the OACS Brenda Stafford Foundation, that to finalize terms of an MOU that we will then have this as a center of excellence. So there are many other things. The Francisca Dorval facility, we are working very closely with Build Health International, engineers across the world, most within the USA, to finalize plans for rehabilitation of this area. We are doing hip surgeries and knee replacement and all these things never before. 2 years ago, someone would have to go to St. Lucia for a fistula. If you want to, or you're required to do dialysis, you would first have to go to St. Lucia. With local capacity, we don't have to do that. So I'm saying there are a lot of new and cutting-edge things that we're doing, but at the end of the day, sometimes what is required most is even softer than that. It's the care, it's how you feel, and so on. And I think this is an area that we have to remain committed to improving.
Minister for Health, Kasani Laville, he says upgrades at the Marigot Hospital are underway.
But certainly for Marigot Hospital, while we continue to use this hospital as an emergency facility, A&E services are there, as well as others, dental and many more. There's a lot of capacity and potential for use of this facility, and there's something that we are working on, and when complete, it will very likely be the first in the region, and we are far ahead on that.
Minister for Health, Kasani Laville. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labour, Gloria Joseph, says government has implemented measures to address employee concerns regarding unfair pay under the new minimum wage structure. Joseph emphasized that employees have the right to challenge employers who do not comply with the new minimum wage requirements, which took effect in December 2025.
And the process can involve, in the first instance, one, hear you. Next instance, investigate the truth, the veracity of your case. Thirdly, we seek conciliation, that is using alternate dispute mechanism to reconcile between employer and employee. We become the intermediary. If that method fails, then it goes to arbitration. An independent body that is not necessarily government, but government-appointed tripartite body will hear your case as prescribed by the minister. The minister will give the right to issue a warrant to convene a tribunal hearing, look into your case, and the tribunal, being governed by a board, an industrial relation board, is a quasi-court. And at the end of hearing you and doing all their investigations, they will take affirmative action based on the law, which you're not excused from the action. That could include fine, and it could include instructing you to pay current or retroactive to bring things in alignment. That is what the employee has. The employer has also other mechanisms. Now, beyond the government system, employees can go to their union, as well as employers can go to the federation, the Dominica Employers Federation. But these are usually if you can't resolve it in-house.
And that was Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labour, Public Service Reform, Social Partnership, Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development, Gloria Joseph. Minister for Finance, Dr. Irvin McIntyre, says the latest IMF assessment of Dominica is favorable. An IMF team concluded its assessment of Dominica, announcing that growth reached 4.5% in 2025.
They were here from the 16th of March to 26th, and that is the Article 4 consultation with Dominica's authorities. If you ask me, I think we did pretty well. There's always room for improvement, but I think we did pretty well. Actually, real GDP growth accelerated to 4.5% in 2025. And remember, in 2024, it was 3.5%. But that's basically due to the robust tourism. We actually had a 36% above pre-pandemic levels, and also some targeted development investments. Actually, inflation continued to ease. It was averaging 2.3% in 2025, which is good news for us. Generally, the financial system remains stable and liquid, with bank credit growing growth strengthening modestly to 1.6% in 2025. Real GDP growth is projected to average about 3% in 2026-2027, and that is supported by continued strategic investment in flagship infrastructure projects. Obviously, our current account deficit is expected to return to its norm by 2031. The primary balance is projected to improve as well to about 1% in next fiscal year, which is good. Generally, we want to get over 2% by 2030.
And that was Minister of Finance, Dr. Irvin McIntyre. He says, however, the Dominican authorities should not be complacent, as greater efficiency will be needed in certain areas.
We have to enhance our VAT yields, definitely, and we have to strengthen our tax administration and compliance, which is important. Obviously, pension reform, we have to proceed with this as well, because this is what's going to safeguard long-term system sustainability and mitigate fiscal risk. Obviously, we have to do some improving in trade integration and connectivity, which could diversify risk. It could also lower cost, broaden the economic opportunities, and then obviously ongoing planned infrastructure upgrades to expand our air arrival and port capacity. That's the importance of the international airport, because from the international airport, many things will trickle down. The tourism industry will benefit. I mean, if you go on some simple examples, if the taxi drivers, the vendors, the hoteliers, the Airbnb, everything's going to benefit from this. And obviously there's more economic activity from this, which is good news for us. All in all, if you were to ask me, I think we're on the correct path. We just have to stick to it. Obviously, we have to be more efficient in our systems, but we're definitely on the correct path, and I'm really looking forward to good things to come for Dominica.
Finance Minister Dr. Irvin McIntyre. In more news this morning, Chief Elections Officer Anthea Joseph says the voter confirmation process in Dominica has been made easier. She says the Electoral Commission has responded to the concerns of the public and action was taken to ensure that every Dominican voter meets the confirmation requirements. The confirmation period closes officially on October 15, 2026.
Persons without traditional IDs like the passport, social security card, and driver's license can now apply using a passport-size photograph, an affidavit, and a birth certificate. The affidavit must be notarized by the Justice of Peace, a Notary Public, or Commission of Oaths, as well as the passport-size photo. Applicants are required to present one of the following, therefore. You can present a valid passport or a valid driver's license or valid social security card or a passport-size photo, affidavit signed by the Justice of Peace or Notary Public or Commission of Oaths, and your birth certificate along with a witness from the same polling district. The Electoral Office emphasizes that individuals who do not complete the confirmation process by the end of the period will not be included on the new voters list, and as a result will not be eligible to vote thereafter.
Chief Elections Officer Anthea Joseph. And Health Minister Cassani Laville has called on healthcare workers to consider the care of CNCDs as a social responsibility. He says CNCDs pose a threat to Dominica and other countries. He says the Ministry of Health will continue to put the focus on chronic non-communicable diseases, CNCDs.
We have been prioritizing NCDs, of course. You would have heard that the Honorable Prime Minister would have spoken about a national consultation for NCDs. This is something that requires a lot of focus for us, because 3 out of every 4 people who die globally, and we are not spared at all, we are affected by some type of NCD, or it's a contributory factor. So some of the things that we are trying to do is improve and increase awareness for NCDs, and to get people to change the mindset that we should live better and healthier lives, to be preventative and proactive in terms of our management of our own health, because the cost of managing NCDs, it's quite profound. And these are the challenges we face, and we have an opportunity, a distinct opportunity to be proactive and be preemptive in our approach to our own livelihoods and our self-care, as opposed to, getting affected by some type of NCD and treating for the rest of your life. So this is the type of mindset that we are doing our best to foster. But we have to do more. We have to take greater responsibility as a ministry. And I'm really calling on all our healthcare workers to see this as more than a job, but as a social responsibility, as a vocation. It's not merely just caring for the patient in front of you, but really giving them the best that you have in terms of your knowledge base to ensure that they make the best decisions possible.
Minister for Health, Kasani Laville. In news from the region, the government of Antigua and Barbuda has formally invited international observer missions from the Commonwealth, the Organization of American States, OAS, and the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, to monitor its upcoming general elections following the dissolution of Parliament last week. In 3 separate letters dated April 5, Prime Minister Gaston Brown informed the respective organizations that Parliament was dissolved on April 1, 2026. He said he intends to announce the election date on April 7. The move signals the government's intention to subject the electoral process to regional and international scrutiny as the country prepares to elect a new administration. Under Antigua and Barbuda's constitution, general elections must be held within 90 days of the dissolution of Parliament. And on international front, the Nigerian military said it had rescued 31 worshippers seized from Easter celebrations in northwestern Kaduna State, although at least 5 others were killed as the country's security comes increasingly under international scrutiny. Gunmen raided a Catholic and an evangelical church. The kidnapping at a village located around 62 miles north of the capital, Abuja, occurred despite the police chief ordering a massive security deployment, including at places of worship during the Easter festival. In January, bandits rounded up more than 170 worshippers from 3 churches during Mass in Kaduna. Authorities said 80 escaped and the rest were released following negotiations after 3 weeks in custody. Kaduna is one of several states in northwest and central Nigeria that have for years been terrorized by criminal gangs called bandits that carry out deadly raids on communities and kidnap for ransom. Despite the bandits being motivated by financial gains, they are increasingly collaborating with jihadists from the northeast. That's news. Sports comes up shortly.
Need one trusted place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Fine Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica. And yes, we deliver fast. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top-tier service, trusted products. Call us at 255-6810 or 316-0164 or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc., the biggest distributor for the biggest brand.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petrocaribe.
So fast pay, a new and easy way to pay. So fast pay, so fast pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
So fast pay, 2 minutes and you're on your way. So fast pay, so fast pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Here's a quick tip from NBD.
A quick tip from the National Bank of Dominica Limited. Scammers may send fake emails or texts. Remember, NBD will never ask you to reset your more banking password or share your card PIN, CVV, or other sensitive information this way. Stay alert. Stay secure. When in doubt, contact NBD, your partner, your bank.
Welcome to the DBS Morning Sports Reports. National athlete Addison James has won Dominica's first medal at the ongoing Carifta Games in Grenada as he snatched gold in the boys under-20 javelin event last night. James entered the event as the top-seeded athlete, and he showed why he was a class above the rest as he dominated the competition. He threw 63.73 meters on his very first attempt as he cruised to the victory in the end. Ethan North of the Bahamas was second with a throw of 62.80 meters, and Malik Francis of Antigua was third. In other results from the Carifta Games, there was a fifth-place finish for Jermichael Tit in the boys under-20 discus event. He threw 49.56 meters on his best attempts, missing out on a bronze medal by about 3 meters. There was also a fifth-place finish for Zayden Cornelius in the under-17 boys javelin event. Cornelius threw 51.93 meters to finish in fifth place. The event was won by Deshaun Smart of Grenada with a throw of 65.09 meters. Jariah Lewis jumped 6.91 meters to secure a seventh-place finish in the boys under-20 long jump event. And Omari Caesar finished in 8th place in the boys under-17 3,000-meter event. Meantime, it was a struggle for the Dominican sprinters. Kedela Victor did not meet the qualifying time for the semi-finals of the under-17 girls 100-meter event. The 14-year-old ran 12.94 seconds in her heat to finish in 6th place. Victor also finished 7th in her heat in the 200-meter event in a time of 27.20 seconds. Jael Peters of Trinidad won that heat with a time of 11.83 seconds. Keone Esprit also did not meet the qualifying mark in the under-17 boys 100 meters event. He ran 11.13 seconds to finish in 5th place in his qualifying heat. He also finished 4th in his heat in the 200-meter race with a time of 22.94 seconds. Delani George also ran 11.31 seconds to finish in 7th place in his heat in the 100 meters event, and he placed 7th as well in the 200-meter event, running 23.19 seconds. Akisha Luke was also unsuccessful in her bid to qualify for the semi-finals in the girls under-20 100-meter event. She ran 12.46 seconds to finish in 6th place in her heat. Overseas-based athlete Sharifa Trokad also did not meet the mark in the girls 400 meters. She placed 3rd in her heat with a time of 56.42 seconds. The race was won by Brenna Brown of Jamaica in 54.93 seconds. The Carifta Games will continue today. National swimmer Elkesh Sif put up a valiant effort but came up short of medals in his respective events at the Carifta Swimming Championships in Martinique on the weekend. Sif is Dominica's only representative at the Carifta Swimming Championships. The 16-year-old swam 27.35 seconds to finish 24th overall out of 40 swimmers in the boys' 50-meter butterfly event. He also finished 17th out of 25 swimmers in the boys' 200-meter freestyle events. He swam a time of 12 minutes, 4.74 seconds, setting a new national record in the process. He will be back in competition today in the boys' 100-meter butterfly event, and on Tuesday he will compete in the 400-meter freestyle. The R&D Academy volleyball team is reporting a successful trip to St. Lucia on the weekend. Team PRO Grace Okuru says the games gave the team a good idea of where they are with the start of the National Volleyball League.
So we had 2 divisions for the boys. The senior team for the boys did very well. They won all 3 of their sets against the team that they played. The junior team for the boys lost 2 sets and they won 1. And the girls played good, but they lost 2 sets and won 1 against the first team that they played. And then we played a second girls team. We went 2 sets for that one. We went to 15 because there was no time. And, well, we lost both. But it was a close lose. But overall, from the feedback that we heard from coach, we did very good. All the things were very good. He saw some improvement, and then we also saw some areas that we need to work on, especially our communication and like our movement on the court as well.
And that was R&D Academy volleyball team PRO Grace Okoro. Dominica's Nian Davis got a score with the bat, and Dominica's Joshua Joseph and Dylan Joseph were among the wickets as the Windward Islands under-15 team made it 4 straight wins, beating the Leeward Islands on the weekend as the Cricket West Indies under-15 regional tournament continued in Antigua. Leewards were bowled out for just 80 runs batting. Joshua Joseph took 2 for 21, Caleb Charles 2 for 8, and Dylan Joseph 2 for 16. The Windwards replied with 84 for 4 to win by 6 wickets. Nian Davis got 32. The Windwards will be back in action again this morning when they come up against the Leeward Islands. Guyana's chief selector, former West Indies batsman Ram Naresh Sawan, says that West Indies all-rounder Kevin Sinclair has been dropped from the Guyana team for disciplinary reasons. Sinclair, who last represented the West Indies in 2025, will not form part of the Guyana Happy Eagles team for the upcoming regional 4-day tournament. Sawan says that Sinclair has been a distraction in the locker room.
Since 2024, we've had issues with Kevin in terms of disciplinary issues. And the most recent action that he displayed at Everest was a reason for him not being selected. And those reasons basically he walked out of the field and he was very disobedient towards the captain. Kevin cricket, you really can't question that. I think it's very important for him to understand what we're trying to do as a team or a group. I don't think it's viable for him to continue in terms of being disobeying captain and being rude to the coach or disrespectful to the coach and basically using some of his teammates verbally. I mean, there's no room for that. So those are the things that Kevin has to change. And we have spoken about this before, right? So it's not like Kevin or nobody else is not aware about this in our group. Kevin is fully aware of this stuff.
Guyana's chief selector, former West Indies batsman Ram Naresh Sawan. The Guyana team is scheduled to play the Windward Islands Volcanoes as the tournament gets underway this weekend. Guyana's cricket operations manager Anthony D. Andrade says the franchise has sought professional help for Kevin Sinclair.
2 years ago, we reached out to the ministry to get a sports psychologist involved. And that was before any issue came up, any official issue came up with Kevin Sinclair. Since then, we've also reached out to sports psychologists overseas, mainly one in England. The arrangement did not come true, so we are still actually looking at that because we recognize, as the Guyana Cricket Board, we recognize that sports psychology and such sports psychologists plays a major part in sport and professional sports because of all the social issues and other issues that our professional athletes would face. We would want to equip them to be better professionals as they represent Guyana and West Indies.
And that was Guyana's cricket's operations manager Anthony DeAndrade. Meantime, Kevin Sinclair in a statement on Sunday said that he has been unfairly labeled. He also went on to say that his circumstances were properly heard or understood. He said while he takes responsibility for his reactions, he maintains that it came from a place of emotional distress, passion, and a desire to defend himself and not from misconduct. He says during his career, he has never been disrespectful to management and has always supported and valued his teammates. And West Indies women's captain Hayley Matthews says it was always going to be a tough battle against Australia. Her comments as the Windies went down 3-0 in the ODI series and 3-0 in the T20 series. Matthews says it was always going to be an uphill battle, but the team did show some signs of growth.
Well, I think with them coming down here, we always knew it was going to be a tough assignment. I think when we look at these series and how our spinners went throughout, I think that's certainly one area we could be proud of. But yeah, obviously a clear skill gap between the two teams, but at the same time, notice a lot that we can work on and a great opportunity for a lot of our younger girls as well to just have the experience to go out there and play against some of the best players.
Yes, fans of West Indies cricket will be thrilled to see the youngsters coming through. Ashmini Munasar's debut. Liliana Grimmond looked good with the start today too. A few words on the youngsters. Yeah, we obviously have quite a few within the setup now, and like I said, this is the perfect opportunity for them to come out and understand what the highest level of cricket is like. And yeah, definitely a few bright sparks in Ashmini and the way she went in that second match and even today, and I think the way Liliana set up today. So yeah, pretty good to have them amongst and playing in such good competition, and hopefully they can understand and learn a lot from these opportunities. A word on your individual performance, Hayley. I know you hold yourself to very high standards, as does the world. What would you say about your form this series? Oh yeah, got off to starts in all 3 games, I think, and just wasn't able to carry on in my innings, and that can happen sometimes. Surely would have loved to get a big one, but yeah, gonna have to look at that conversion and yeah, see how I can, I guess, get deeper in my innings in the future. But yeah, at the same time, I felt like I was hitting the ball really well, getting in some pretty good positions, and then probably just getting out. So I don't think it's too much to worry about. Yeah, just a chance where I didn't necessarily get too deep in any of my innings this series.
West Indies women's captain Hayley Matthews. That's how we end the DBS Morning News and Sports. We invite you to join us tomorrow morning for another major newscast. Of course, it's holiday programming today. No news at 1:15 and at 6 o'clock. Enjoy DBS Radio Today, Easter Monday. On behalf of the News and Sports departments, our links personnel Hazari Williams, I am Ivona John Baptist Luge. Good morning. Happy Easter Monday.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Here's a quick tip from MB.